We're in the big guy matches now, Mark.
Yeah, 90 kgs.
90
big
kgs.
boys.
I don't know if you ever met Cammy before he really started grappling, but he would say himself he was in one of the worst shapes I've ever seen, and to see him now
it's
like
incredible
this,
to see his journey.
what a journey. Match is underway. We've got Ash taking guard position.
Bit of a clash of styles here as well. You see
Yep.
Ash just pulling guard immediately and going
Yep.
for that really aggressive
You see
guard
that less
attacking
with big
style.
guys, I think.
Yeah,
you see that less with
very
big guys.
rare with 90 kilo guys where you see that. Cammy, obviously well known for wrestling, he's also competing for Scotland at the moment.
Commonwealth Games,
Yeah.
he's getting drafted for that. You know, it's that's what I was saying about him, and you know, in his corners with Kieran, the wrestling pedigree, these two guys, and the jiu-jitsu scene especially is top 1%.
Yeah, so you're just going to really see at the start is going to be it's going to be the tricky stage, and then if you can sort of start to wear on him and break him down, and it just depends how much that pressure's going to work on him. And also for Cammy, you know, he's obviously competing in so many different rule sets as well. Whether that's going to affect him, you know, if you're competing in wrestling one week and you're doing the right things to not get scored on in wrestling, is that going to then affect
It's
you?
not always the right things in jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
Yeah. A lot of the positions you see in wrestling are almost jiu-jitsu suicide sometimes. You know, you're really sacrificing your back, like a lot of positions. But I think Cammy's been doing jiu-jitsu longer than he's been doing wrestling now.
Yeah.
So if there's going to be anyone in here that's going to know how to mix wrestling and jiu-jitsu, it's him or it's Conlon and Kieran, you know.
Absolutely. You know, and he's playing his style as well. You know, he's playing his style, so he's used to guys doing this. He's on top. You know, I would imagine in the gym more than anything
lot
else.
of the time.
So I'm sure he's not unfamiliar with dealing with guys in guard and dealing with guys in these different positions here. Biggest thing for him here is he just wants to try and break that guard and get past. You know, ideally.
But he's been very patient, super patient.
Yeah, and there isn't a rush. He's got 10 minutes. You know. He's not going to be using very much energy while he's in guard there. But even with those, you know, technical stand-ups and posts here.
Oh, great pass to north-south there.
Yeah,
that was lovely.
It's very heavy on top here as well. It's going to be tricky.
This is where the wrestling makes a huge benefit. This side control pressure and whatnot.
Yeah, can Ash deal with it? You know, can Ash deal with that kind of pressure and be able to move him at all? Because, you know, sometimes when you get that a wrestler on top is a different feeling from somebody else on top.
Like I was saying, like I've seen Ash's name spoken about a lot, but I've never actually seen him compete. I don't know his style hugely. So how many wrestling rounds is he doing at the gym? Is he just going, I'm against a wrestler, I'm not going to try and out wrestle him, I'm just going to go full jiu-jitsu? So you don't know how he actually took this fight late as well.
It looks like he's setting up a necktie.
Yeah,
this
he does.
Is very, very close to finishing. Can't even get his elbows together. He might be able to just finish this right here and now. Ash doing a good job, but he's still in real deep trouble at this point here. If he can punch that through, it's going to be game over. He's managed to flatten himself out. Probably going to see Cammy go back to that kind of grip here, but he has got a Darce choke locked up.
He's now back to the north-south position.
Trying to use that frame to kind of set up some sort of reverse triangle here. It looks like he's trying to just edge his way in. Cammy doing a good job of just keeping that head low and not giving him any space to get any entries. And again, Cammy can kind of take his time here and look to set up what he's got. He's got a good grip on that arm now. So it could be.
Cammy's got a great Kimura. Really, really, really good Kimura.
He's got that bite there, and now he's going to switch to the armbar. Once this leg comes through, you're probably going to see the match be over now.
Ash is holding on to his leg here. He's not got much to hold on to. Cammy's a serious physical guy.
For him now. He's finished it. Wow, he does
oh my
not
God!
Want to tap here. He does
wow!
Not want to tap. It goes
I was. Oh man, I was on the same boat as you. I thought that match was over.
Yeah, I'm very surprised he managed to survive that. You know.
Shaking his head, smiling at Cammy here now, sitting back down before he gets double.
Yeah, respect to Ash.
Yeah, awesome.
He's a gamer. You know, he's there to.
Many guys with the tap to that there. Even the shoulder pressure when you're trying to get out of there. It's horrible.
You're taking a serious risk there because you're talking late stage defences there to the point where, you know, if it goes wrong there, you're losing your arm and you're losing, you know, 6 months in the gym probably.
Yeah, for sure. That armbar is not being put on gradually. That's an armbar that's at full extension within the blink of an eye.
Competition, and these guys are playing for keeps, so Cammy doing a good
playing
job
for the title.
That pressure on, exactly. Cammy is the reigning champion and he wants to get it finished.
think so far I've got Cammy up on the scorecards. Like you were saying earlier on, serious submission attempts is probably how you're going to score this. It's been the only one
and
thus
that's
far.
That's as close as you're going to get, really, you know.
Yeah. Had us both grimacing, so if it gets to that point, I would say that's a serious submission attempt.
Yeah. If I had a towel, I might have threw it in.
Interesting to see Ash so comfortable in this guard position, not even looking to try and get on top of himself. He's actually looking to almost set up some chain of attacks just from that bottom position, which is pretty much a black and white match here between Cammy and Ash. And to be honest, I'm impressed with Ash. I thought, you know, sometimes I can't see past Cammy.
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying the match and really trying to keep it playful. You know, keep the movement going, keep the pressure going.
Slapped him.
Yeah, Cammy, a wee tap to the head there, just keeping it friendly, and maybe a good reminder to remember if it was a fight then.
Well, let me tell you something, by the way. Cammy can box.
Yeah, man.
Cammy can box.
With that wrestling, he wouldn't need to. You know, he wouldn't even need to box, to be honest. It's probably something we could think about.
Seen parts of Ricardo Arona and Rampage Jackson, I think, we would be getting.
Heavy pressure. Again, Ash doing a good job of staying calm and keep trying to switch and just get any kind of space that he can. But
I think Cammy's looking for almost that Dagestani handcuff round the back there, but I'm sure Ash is wise to a lot of this and just looking here, holding this turtle position.
He's been quite steadily controlled for the majority of this.
I would say so.
Contest.
This half guard, I think we've got about 2 minutes left in this match. So we've got the corner of Ash, we've got Darren Clark, who's got a black belt from Scotland, been around the grappling scene a long time, and he's urging Ash here to go for more attacks. Yep. So I think Darren himself understands, you know, this is going to, if this goes to the judge's decision or a referee's decision, we're going to be looking at submission attempts scored, and he needs to get something on the board,
something, because
for sure.
Yeah, realistically, although he's been very active off his back and he's been active with his movement, he's never really got a bite on anything yet. He's never really got past the first stage of any attack. Whereas Cammy, you know, did get very, very close to the finish with that armbar.
Yeah. Playing the inverted guard here.
Talking about the corners as well there, you've got Kieran Malone in his corner. Cammy really has been a protege of Kieran Malone.
Yeah. Got a gym together, they basically are beside each other in every aspect of combat sports and, you know, just physical training in general that they do.
Absolutely, and what an amazing job he's done as well, you know. You see that with a lot of the guys that he's trained.
I think because Kieran's style is so wrestling heavy, he maybe doesn't get the respect as a coach he deserves, because wrestling's not a huge scene in Scotland.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, the rounds I've seen Kieran put in the gym, he's one of the best guys I've seen to train with. He's incredible.
He's fantastic as a grappler. I attended one of his classes recently, and the move that he taught, I've been hitting ever since he's shown it. So it's, he's got a wealth of knowledge and competition experience as well, which is invaluable.
Yeah. He's been wrestling since he was 4 or 5 years old. That's all getting passed into guys like Cammy now, and as you can see from this top pressure and whatnot, it's not going to miss that stuff being passed down.
Good pressure here as well.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really, really tiring for a 90 kilo guy to kind of keep this kind of pace the whole way through. It's going to be very, very tiring.
Under a minute left now.
Again, there's not really been anything.
Go for that deep half here.
He's got to be very careful himself here, because there is options for head and arm stuff as well there. You know, if Cammy can punch through, he could get the finish from there, because Ash has actually contorted himself.
He's going for it now.
He's in a lot of trouble. If the back of his head gets to Cammy's belly, it should be over.
Oh, Cammy's a bandit here. Maybe looking at a knee, but Cammy's got his leg out now.
Too much pressure the whole way through, really there. You see a bit of slamming there. If he
I was thinking that. I was thinking, please don't go on all fours. I think it's all well and good, you know, shaking your head and stuff like that. We see this in MMA fights a lot, but you need to be putting in stuff yourself to
ultimately, if you're just defending, you know, it's great. Yeah, you're not getting beat, but if you're only defending, you're certainly not winning.
Yeah.
Those head shoves as well, frustrating. Really nice performance here. You've got to
good match, really good match. Yeah, I can't imagine the titles going anywhere but back to the grip house with Cameron.
And your winner, in the red corner, and still champion, Cameron.